Nothing terminal. It's just a touch of consumption.
Okay, so imagine you're a third grader. You've got, spelling homework, a juice box, you got your own juice box boy, and a vague fear of clowns. Then, bam, 2:17 a.m. hits, and you're full Naruto sprinting into the night like it's the Hunger Games, kindergartner edition. Welcome to Weapons, a movie that asks, what if your teacher wasn't the problem, but your classmate's aunt was a life force sucking witch with a wig full of secrets? And if we've learned anything over the years, it's that the bigger the hair, the bigger the lies. So we start off with a little thing I like to call the great third grade escape. We've learned that 17 kids vanished, and they all are from the same class. However, only one kid, Alex Lilly, stays behind, which is suspicious, because his house looks a lot like a haunted BuzzFeed location. Windows covered in newspaper, yup. Parents sitting motionless in the dark, yup. Yup. It's not Suburban, it's a demonic Airbnb, and it's just not good. Not good. We then meet Justine Gandy, played by Julia Gardner. Oh, Julia Gardner. Actually, she does an incredible job, but Justine Gandy, she's a teacher, detective, and more or less a wine enthusiast. She's the teacher who's caring, troubled, and apparently one Chardonnay away from solving the mystery, kind of like a fine Pinot Grigio, You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. She gets suspended from her teaching job because she is, just full on spiraling out of control because the entire town is accusing her of taking all 17 of these missing children from her own classroom and doing God knows what with them. We don't know. Is she responsible? We don't know, but we'll find out this summer. This summer, we'll find out. However, Justine Gandy, she decides that the best way to help Alex is to stalk him and follow him home, like she's auditioning for Dateline's To Catch a Predator.
What kind of pizza we have tonight? Who's this? I'll get to that in a minute. Who are you?
As she's stalking Alex outside of his house, she winds up falling asleep in her car, which is relatable to say the least. She wakes up to Alex's mom just casually snipping a lock of her hair, and it's just sort of one of those moments where you go, ma'am, I'm not paying for this haircut. I look like shit. This is what we call supernatural identity theft, and we know these vibes, and we do not like these vibes. We don't condone them. Meanwhile, we're introduced to Archer Graff, who is played by Josh Brolin. Yup. The Josh Brolin, who's pretty much activated his dad Ultra Instinct mode. He's freaking full on starts his own investigation. He's going around watching all the neighbors' doorbell ring cam footage like it's the Zapruder film, and he somehow deduces that all of the kids were running straight in the direction of Alex's house. It's incredible deductive skills, to be completely honest. It's just incredible stuff. We are then introduced to a Mr. Paul Morgan, who is a cop, Justine Gandy's ex, and a syringe magnet. While on patrol, Justine's ex-boyfriend, Officer Paul, winds up arresting a guy named James, who's basically a walking intervention episode. He's got a severe methamphetamine addiction, and it's a big no-no, dog. It's a big no for me. It's not good. It's not good at all, Paul winds up pricking himself on a syringe in James' pocket, who then in turn just fucking lays James out. He just clocks that fool, and he drops him, bro, right then and there. Freaking literal spinning back fist, Shoryuken type situation, and it's fucking brutal stuff, bro. However, he winds up letting James go because all of this has been caught on the dash cam footage of his police cruiser, and it's just not good. He doesn't want to get in trouble for it, so he lets James go. He lets him escape. He says, if I ever see you here again, I'm kill you, bro. So it's basically your average Florida cop. We then cut to James, who's looking for his next fix of, that methamphetamine real bad. He's, as they would say, fiending. He stumbles across Alex's house, And he sees that no one has collected the newspapers in front, because I guess people still get newspapers these days. However, he takes this as a sign that, no one's there. This is a prime opportunity for me to go in here and steal some stuff from these people's house. So James breaks into Alex's house, and he winds up stumbling into the basement, where he finds all of the 17 missing kids in some sort of catatonic, creepy trance.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just like in the basement standing all still and shit.
I mean, they are definitely not playing Minecraft down there.
Emerald! We're rich!
He then tries to report it to the police, but Paul chases him because it's like, I told you not to come back here. Spinning back fist. Spinning back fist. Spinning back fist. However, Paul chases James down, dude. He chases him down like just such a bad boy, and he winds up handcuffing him into the car. Also, there's a huge reward for finding all of these 17 missing kids. So Paul is like, you know what? Let me go see if he's actually telling the truth and that these 17 kids are in the basement. And you know what? I'm going to take credit for it. I'm going to be the hero cop because I just punched this guy, and no one's going to care about that if I save all of these 17 kids who've been missing for months. It's I'll get away with the spinning back fist type situation. Anyway. So James, the addict, winds up being handcuffed in the car while Paul goes in to investigate. However, we then see Paul drag him inside like it's a haunted Uber ride. It's fucking terrifying, bro. Like, can you imagine? You're handcuffed in the back of a police car, which is already bad enough, bro. And then the cop comes out just full on raging and just drags you into the house where all of these kids have been held captive for months. Like, brother, it's not good. It's not good. I mean, I don't get scared. Other people might get scared in this situation, but let me tell you, it's looking grim, looking very grim. Marcus, who's the principal of the school, then meets the mysterious woman, who we are introduced to as Gladys. Gladys claims that she became the family's caretaker after Alex's parents recently fell ill with a bit of a touch of consumption, if you will, which I don't know what that means, but it's pretty funny to see. I guess it's some sort of tuberculosis type of symptom. I don't know. I wasn't around in the Oregon Trail type days, but I wish I was. I wish that I was. Yeah. Either way, Marcus says, this isn't going to work for me, dog. You're not his actual parental guardian, so I'm going to need to meet with his parents. It's just not going to work for me. You need to leave. We then follow the principal, Marcus, home, where he's just living his best life. And he gets a little knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. And guess who it is? It's Gladys, where she just decides to visit him at his home. She says, you know what? I'm really thirsty. I walked all these miles across town to come to your home, and I would like a bowl of water, like a dog, a bowl of water. Yeah, she performs a ritual with the stolen hair and a ribbon because apparently witchcraft is basically arts and crafts with consequences. She then enchants Marcus, who just brutally kills his husband right then and there in full berserk. I mean, it's just... This shit was full on bananas, I'll be honest with you. It was full bananas, dude. He just headbutts him into oblivion, And you just don't do that to your significant other. You don't do it. That is generally frowned upon. So yeah, Gladys enchants Principal Marcus, who immediately kills his husband and goes full slasher mode on Justine. He full on Naruto runs across the entire town, homing in on her like a missile, which in itself is pretty frightening. Dude, it's crazy as shit. So yeah, Justine's at the gas station getting gas, where she happens to run into Archer Graff. Marcus goes full on banana land on her and just tries to completely destroy her right there at the gas station. However, Archer Graff manages to intervene enough that Justine is able to escape. Also, she's one of the main characters in the movie, so she's got real thick plot armor. I'm talking thick. Justine flees and Marcus pursues her like a homing missile, which is awful. We then see him get hit by a car, because karma is basically an Uber, and Justine survives, so she gets away, and it's all gravy, baby. All gravy, baby. We then get a little bit of a flashback, little bitty flashback. So turns out that Gladys is Alex's aunt indeed. But she moved in, and guess what? She's a witch. And she started siphoning the life force and souls from Alex's parents like she's charging up her phone off of their life. It's just not kind. You don't go into someone's home and start just, sucking their energies. It's not good. Yeah. Anyway, it turns out that they weren't enough energy. They weren't good enough. So she made Alex collect name tags and, things like Pokemon cards from his class, and then use all of those items to kidnap all of the children. So, that's where the 17 kids went. It's pretty scary stuff. Honestly, this witch has more strategy than most CEOs. It's insane. So then she's, sucking all the energy from the kids and the parents, and she's just getting more energy, just energized. It's crazy, dude. It's a crazy situation. At this point, Justine and Archer Graff have realized that the problem is coming from Alex's house. So they decide to just go in there guns blazing, and they're going to storm the house and confront Gladys. As they get in the house, of course, Paul, the police officer, and James, the addict, attack them, and it's a full-on Banana Land, Electric Avenue type brawl. I mean, these guys are over here, they're freaking just ripping one, and these other dudes are ripping one, and it's wild. Justine winds up grabbing Paul's gun, and, she just goes full John Wick, teacher edition. Man, she blasts him, she shoots him in the back, and she missed him a couple times, so she shot him in the back a few more, and it's not good. And our poor boy Archer Graff, Josh Brolin, he gets enchanted, but Alex, our tiny little hero, the main hero, the real one, he actually pulls a strand of Gladys's wig, the one full of secrets, and he does the exact same enchanting spell. The kids all wake up, and they chase Gladys around the neighborhood and tear her apart like it's recess, and she stole their candies and their snacks. It's sheer brutality, fatality. It's actually pretty satisfying. But that's the end of that old witchy bitch. All these kids just tear her to pieces. And they brutalize her, and it's go time, dude. And they bash her. They bash her real good. It's really good scene, though, actually. Really good scene. We then get to the end of the movie, which is a sad note for everyone, We get a little voiceover explaining that Alex has moved in with a different aunt. Hopefully one that's not a witch. The kids have all returned home, and eventually some of them start speaking again, which is great because I have questions for them. Will I get answers? Maybe, but probably not. And that's it. The movie ends. It's over. So, Weapons. Was it worth watching? Honestly, yeah. It's a fun little time. I feel like you're going through Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, It's not super exciting, but it's fun nonetheless. And a lot of the spooky shit is cool when it's there, Weapons is what happens when Hereditary, The Ring, and Kindergarten Cop all get thrown into a blender, and they're cursed by a clown witch, aka Aunt Gladys. It's chaotic, it's creepy, and it's oddly hilarious at times. Much like myself. Oh, I'll see myself out. Anyway, that does it for this video. If you liked the video, remember to smash that like button. Similar to the way Marcus just smashed his head into his husband over and over. And also hit the like button if you'd run into the woods at 2:17 a.m. because I know I would, and we're going to do it Naruto style, dude. Anyway, comment down below. What would you do in this situation? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Much love to you all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Goodbye.